The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Happy Friday and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, wild, and natural world to take control of our personal choices, as well as our health and freedom. I'm Nico Haan.
And I'm Paige Clarke.
And it's a beautiful day in downtown Clarke. The sun is finally out. We had rain for about a week here.
God, we have been getting swamped, but you know what? It's so good for the soil and everything.
Well, it keeps it cool, too, which I love.
So, yeah, August is our hot time.
That's for sure. Please subscribe to our Health Signals newsletter. I have one coming out next week, but I've got plenty of them sitting there waiting for you to look at them.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and please order our Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. You can do this at our website, TFNN.com. You can also do it at livingaprimal-lifestyle.com. So you got a couple of choices there. And we're taking your phone calls at 877-927-6648.
You know, when you when you said that about returning to a more natural life, I want to take a minute because I know everyone's probably seen it, the story about the dentist who hunted down the beautiful lion Cecil. Yeah. And the outrage of that kind of a senseless hunting, by all means, we certainly are not endorsing that kind of killing for sport.
Well, there's two sides to every story. The types of hunting that this hunter does is on these reserves where people breed these animals for hunting, and the money they pay goes to taking care of the animals. So you got to look at both sides of the story. I'm not for killing wild game like that. I think game, especially predators like that, I think those are natural predators, are there to do what the humans are trying to do, to cull the herd, get rid of the old, sick, and the ones that can't keep up with the rest of the herd. That's what those natural predators do. So he's kind of now killing a natural predator that's at the apex of his territory.
And from what I understand, he lured him out of the preserve where he is a protected and actually
I don't think he really knew that this animal was that animal.
I think what happened is those hunting guides, they wanted to make his money, his $50,000, so they didn't care. They just wanted to find this
That's perhaps.
this ego.
I don't think we'll ever know the whole story of who did what, but I certainly don't like to see that type of hunting. But at the same time, you can understand these farms, these guys, remember, we live in a society where everybody has to make a profit on something.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's
that
what
really bothered me this week.
Yeah, and it bothered me too in various different levels. I still say you have to look at it in a different way too. That hunter, and I don't, sitting in a trophy, sitting in front of a lion's head or even a boar's head, I don't get that.
No,
I really don't.
I don't either.
And if you want to, I think if you want to really hunt a lion, get your knife out and go stalk the lion and see how you make out. Then I think we're on even ground. With a high-powered rifle yards away from a vicious lion, to me that's not hunting. That's that's being a sniper, and that's for
And from what I understand, the
know.
lion is actually an endangered species. There's less than 20,000 on the continent.
But they're flourishing on farms like this, so they're becoming more domesticated in a sense too. Just like they have certain antelope that they're doing in Texas. They got these huge farms. In the wild, the antelope isn't. I forget which antelope it is, but in the wild, they're non-existent anymore. But they have thousands on these farms because people are eating them. So we're really domesticating animals as it goes, as we take more wild territory away, not only animals, but people.
Right.
And this is, so, and we know that the wild version of anything is much healthier and much better for the planet.
Right.
So we're doing away with our own health in a over a long period of time. This, and this comes, when we talk about these things too, we're always going back to the food. And the behavior that comes with hunting your own food and sustaining your own lifestyle, that's a different behavior than we're doing now, because what we're doing now is going to work for somebody else, being kind of a slave for that person because he's not going to pay us as much as he's making. wonderful if everybody just divided it up, This was the concept a long time ago, We open up a business, everybody shares. And why shouldn't the low man on the totem pole make just as much as anybody else? I don't get it. Is seniority? Maybe there's some seniority there. You work for 1 year, you get less than somebody 5 years. But I see everybody is equal as far as, I don't care what job you have. It makes more sense to me. And that, I think, there's going to be a lot of debate about this in the future, I'm sure. Anyway, I wanted to talk about this little thing I read about, because a lot of people have, giving up grains and things like that.
And this is some comments that came in from Dr. Davis's stuff.
Yeah, it's, what it is that people are going to gluten-free things, which is kind of like a half step, I would say.
Right.
I would say if you're going to eat grains, why not do it in such a way that it's going to be healthy for you? So go to the traditional people and find out how they fix those grains, or go to the Weston Price Foundation, and you can find all kinds of videos and people talking about, this is what we used to do with rice, this is what we used to do with corn, this is how they made tortillas in the old days. They used to ferment this stuff, used to sit overnight with a little vinegar in it.
If you're going to choose to eat these foods, it's imperative that you learn how to properly prepare them.
Yeah, and I choose not to eat them. It's much easier for me. I don't have to go through these elaborate things.
Yeah.
I like things easy. But, let's just see what Dr. Davis says. He says most gluten foods are made with rice starch, tapioca starch, corn starch, potato starch in place of the wheat and gluten. Removing gluten, thinking it's the wheat's only big issue, is a huge mistake.
Correct.
The gluten-free ingredients send your blood sky high.
And that's the point that we really want to drive to people. I have a lot of clients that get the idea, that getting rid of gluten is going to solve all their problems, but we were kind of cutting edge in our information. Again, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you get this kind of stuff ahead of the curve. But explaining that, is it really the gluten, or is it possibly the glyphosate that's being sprayed on all grains, glutinous and non-glutinous grains, used at harvesting time, that may be the problem. Therefore, people end up with problems.
Yeah. But also the substitute things are getting that for sure, but they're also inducing the spike in the sugar, and that's that's the reason we don't eat the grains, because it spikes your sugar. Now, if you ferment them a little bit, it changes them so there's less reaction. And now, remember, these were never staple foods.
Right.
That is the key. We never ate bread as a staple. We had it a little bit here and there. And it was used a lot for religious purposes and things like that. But it is a lot different. So the reason I brought this whole thing up is that this type of food really goes to the belly. In other words, the bad fat that you don't want around your belly, this is what your sugar spikes produce.
It's coming from any foods that spike your sugars, and that includes excessive fruits, too.
Yes.
And so the more we include these grains or starchy type foods that are not properly prepared, we've been discussing this, bantering this back and forth. As you know, Dr. Marshall at Premier Research Labs is really encouraging us to adapt the biofield diet, which is very much like the Dr. Edelstein, Dr. McDougall. They're having tremendous success with people reversing disease and chronic conditions and coming to ideal weight.
Yeah, and what is the gist of these diets?
The gist of these diets.
Paleo, right?
Similar to what?
So similar to a paleo, primal type, cleaning up your act.
No, not really. No? Actually, that's what's making it so difficult, and I'm just coming out in the very low fat, very moderate protein, no red meats, very lean protein sources. And we know that there's toxic fats. They say that,
no doubt.
The vegetables, and having more of a properly prepared starch meal with steamed vegetables, almost kind of going back to the macrobiotic day.
Right.
So, what I've been trying to do is experiment a little bit of how you can integrate both. And I'll tell you why I think.
Now, let me ask you something on this. Is this to get better, or this is already a healthy person?
This is, what do the people who live the longest on the planet do?
Interesting.
We're talking about, so we have to stop and take a look. And I said, well, what about Dr. Weston Price's research? Well, remember, Dr. Weston Price's research was done before we had the chemical soup that we live in.
Yeah.
However, I just can't get around anything, other than the fact that there's so many crucial fat-soluble nutrients that the Weston Price I posted something recently about, reversing tooth decay by the diet these young children should eat.
And it all comes down to reducing the sugar.
But what Dr. Marshall is telling us, and it was very unusual for him to come out after all these years, 45 years of practice, and get behind a diet, because you always kind of wondered, what does he really, what would Dr. Marshall do as far as food? What he's saying is that we had so many years of these adulterated, toxic, damaged fats in our diet. And because we are a society on the move, we're eating out in restaurants where they don't use the healthy fats that Nico and I coach you to use, that there's such a damaged effect on cell membrane integrity. The liver, gallbladder have been damaged so much so that with the biofield diet and moving towards having more of this properly repaired, low starch, cook the rice the night before, it becomes starch, and the sugar is reduced 50%, some grains.
Sounds like they're introducing a lot of prebiotics through this diet.
And the right moving the bowel and so forth. But the other thing is rebuilding the crystalline membrane of the cell membranes via good quality DHA, which there's hardly any on the planet. That's why we use our Premier DHA, which is from an algae-based, encapsulated, protected from rancicity. So what we do is we take people, our new strategy that's working because of the poor liver gallbladder function of people over 40 in this country. If you're under 40, why do some people not thrive on the primal diet and get sluggish after a while? There are people, you've seen the 180 guys, Matt Stone, and these guys that say, hey, I had to go back to eating my starch. It's because the liver gallbladder just can't handle it. So,
that's the most problems I hear is
so what's
you
to
can't
diagnose?
digest the fat.
Let's clean it out. I do an oil change now. So I've got a protocol. I work with people.
But that's why I asked that question. Is it for sick people or is it for people who are all healthy? I think our society is, as a whole, is sick in a sense because of the food.
How many people are suffering from some type of chronic condition?
And there was another article I read that talks about our fruits and vegetables of, say 4,000 years ago and now, and how if you just take a normal apple that is full of vitamins and minerals 4,000 years ago. Right now, you've got it's a fraction. I mean, a fraction, 5%.
God, we're so alike. We read the same stuff. I know the article you're reading. Of course we do.
That kind of blew my mind. So how the heck do you get your vitamins and minerals with the proper fruit and vegetables that we're not even eating most of the time?
Well, you find someone that helps you get sources that have been vetted out. Any of the products that I ship to any of you listeners, Premier Research. I am a quantum reflux practitioner. Premier Research has quantum state nutrition, and we formulated Primal Edge with a formulator who gets good resources.
Primal Edge is the key, folks.
And we love it. We want you to love it. So give it a try. We're going to go on a break here. Give us a call, 877-927-6648. We're taking your calls today. We'll see you after the break.
Yeah, and please pick up the Primal Edge and also take a look at the website and go to the newsletters and look at all those newsletters. We got a great one in the Healthy Image, or the Healthy, Healthy Signals. Health Signals.
No,
I got it there.
Newsletter.
Right back.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back to Living a Primal Lifestyle. We've been talking a little bit about the Primal Edge, but looks like we've got a caller, Tom from Tampa. You have a question about the Primal Edge. Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Paige. How you doing? Nico, what's going on?
Great. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, hey, I received the Primal Edge. I think I got it Tuesday night, and I started taking it Wednesday morning. I noticed the results right away.
Wow.
I mean, it's just, I want to say within 20, 30 minutes after taking that. And, of course, I chased it down with a bottle of water. But I just felt great all day, good energy, good harmony. I was looking over, a lot of the stuff I was taking. I was taking a boatload of vitamins. And I'm not going to need to be taking a lot of those, after looking at the ingredients in the Primal Edge. I mean, it's almost a workout sometimes for me in the morning just to get all my vitamins down.
Yeah, we call it the one-shot wonder, but that's what you can do. You get your cup of nice, clean, non-chlorinated, fluoridated, no-tap water. You put a little shot of that Primal Edge, or you can drink it straight and then chase it with some water and start your day, and you're rocking and rolling.
How long have you been taking vitamins before you tried the Primal Edge?
Quite some time. Yeah, I've been taking them for quite some time. I get them from Swanson. But no, I've been taking vitamins, B, C, E, D, all of them. A.
Mm-hmm. And so as you can see, we really worked to get a lot of value in the Primal Edge for people, simplicity and value, and to really cover as many of the bases A to Z. But after we speak with you, Tom, we're going to go over an article later, kind of talk about some of the things that we do need to get kind of goes along with our conversation. You know, there are still some fat-soluble nutrition that it's not wise for us to put in there.
Right.
You know, from a standpoint of keeping the integrity of the ingredient, I'm all about the integrity of the ingredients.
Also,
for
there's a
our
cost
users.
factor to some of the things.
Yeah, cost factor, exactly. And sometimes, you know, we love getting our nutrition from our foods, but that's often a challenge because despite all of our best desire to get it from our food and make healthy choices, the soil, it doesn't have it all in there. So, you know, that's one of the reasons we've got soil in this product. We've got, you know, ancient fulvicumic minerals.
And I think one of the reasons that you get such a good response from it, that people feel good on it, is the two major fatty acids in there from the humic and fulvic acid.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing, Tom, I want you to be aware is because it is a truly ionic, you know, when you look at most supplementation that you have, Tom, you are, you know, lucky if you're, you know, if you're taking tablets, you're lucky if you're absorbing, you know, maximum 20%. But with capsules, you might be getting 30-40% of whatever is the milligrams on the label. With an ionic liquid mineral, you're getting 100%. Yeah. So it's cell-ready, organic, in the form the cell can use. And then the fulvicumic acid works as a synergist to take nutritional products from both the supplement and other sources, your foods and so forth, and prep them into forms that the cell can use. That's nutrition that really is yeah, it
sure.
really helps you get the effect.
The thing about it is, just since I've been on it here about 72 hours, I can't get over how good I feel, and I put in some pretty long days, and I'm not tired. I usually go on about 7 hours of sleep a night. I mean, I'm just not tired. Wow. And it's the energy level, you know, it gives you.
And what you'll see, too, is that we didn't skimp. We made sure we got the full complement of the methylated B vitamins. And in the world of now we're starting to understand why so many people can't utilize the nutrition that's on the shelf, because many of them are produced by the pharmaceutical industry and they're coal tar derivative, you know, in a form that a good portion of the society can't break down. Yeah. And so they don't get the effect. So we're so glad to hear it. Thank you for taking the time to give us a call.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to be flying out on a couple of weekends here, late August, early September, and I'm thinking I don't want to miss that stuff one day. You know how fluids are when you're traveling. Yeah. I'm going to just pack it up in a good big sandwich bag or something, you know, just to make sure, because, you know, when you're way up above, you know, sea level, you know, liquids can sometimes. You know,
or get yourself a safe, smaller size bottle, you know, and just transfer it in there.
Yeah, what I did when I traveled on a plane is I just took a little bit out of it to get the air in there, and then I sealed it up. Didn't have any trouble. I put it in a plastic bag, too, just to make sure. But didn't have any trouble at all.
Super.
Thanks a lot for calling. I really appreciate it.
I've got a package off to you, by the way, Tom. Thanks for calling, and you should have that tomorrow.
Absolutely. You have a great vacation and a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, Tom.
Bye-bye.
So, yeah, Primal Edge, that's nice, almost like a little commercial for us. That's
absolutely.
very appreciated.
Appreciate that, Tom.
You know, if you have some feedback on any of the products on TFNN, we always want to hear about it because, you know, we're really concerned and we want to make sure that you get something that is going to be useful for you.
Our goal is to really add value to all of you listeners and help you be healthier, wealthier, so you can, you know, trade and enjoy your life.
Yep.
Here we go. Here's another break coming up.
Yeah, the number here is 877-927-6648. So come on, pick up some Primal Edge and help us out here. Keep this product in the tube, so to speak. Also, take a look at my newsletter, Health Signals. I got a new one coming next week, and I'm working on it right now. So we'll be right back.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418 8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Tom O'Brien has just announced a live online workshop taking place Wednesday, August 12th, 6 trades for September. This special event will be open to all subscribers to his daily newsletter, Market Insights. Tom will walk you through 6 trade setups in the market he's identified setting up for September. 2 long positions, 2 short positions, and 2 option trades. New subscribers will also receive a free copy of his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, an $88 value. But we're not done yet. We're also including a Tiger's Den membership as part of all Market Insights subscriptions at no cost as well. You get Tom O'Brien's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, 30 days of his newsletter, Market Insights, access to his live online workshop, 6 trades for September, and access to the Tiger's Den. This offer is only valid for 2 weeks, so don't miss out. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to Market Insights at the front page of TFNN.com today.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle. So we're talking about Primal Edge, we're talking about nutrition, and the original article that I read was really about Dr. Weston Price. You know, when Dr. Price analyzed the nutritional content of foods of the 14 extraordinary healthy tribes that he visited around the world, he found that the diet was approximately 4 times more mineral dense than what Americans ate in the 1930s.
That was during the 1930s.
Yes, and it's much different today. It's even worse today. So, you know, even more striking is that these indigenous, remember these were indigenous tribes living off the land in the 1930s, ate about 10 times the amount of animal fats, vitamins. That's vitamin A, D, E, and K. Correct.
And, you know, we always talk about how his research was back in the 30s. He identified this nutritional
void?
Well, he identified this nutritional unit that he called Activator X.
Yeah.
He really didn't know what it was at the time, but he knew it was something that was obtained by eating animals or the byproducts of these animals that tended to forage on rapidly growing grass. We now know that Activator X is really vitamin K2.
Right.
Now, vitamin K2 is a fat-soluble nutrient. Vitamin A, D, E, and K That's what we're referring to. We were able to take a form of vitamin K2. This was huge for me. When we did the Primal Edge.
We struggled over that for months.
Because, if you notice, standard nutritional research says that calcium and magnesium should be in a natural 2-to-1 ratio. On our Primal Edge, we have a 1-to-1. Because I'm very concerned about people overdoing it on the calcium. Wrong forms of calcium, but we utilized ionic plant-based, and so again, but the real magic happens when people use vitamin K2 and vitamin D and the strontium and the boron and the silica and all these things that go to building strong bones and make sure that all those bone-building materials don't create problems in the arteries. So that was important for the Primal Edge. But my real preference is that you actually get that from food.
Yeah,
any fat-soluble nutrition is best. So let's talk a little bit about, you know that a lot of people laugh when I put them on there. I try and find ways for people to integrate eating healthy, and I call it sneaky little, nutrient stuff. And, I say to people, do you like to have a little cocktail hour? Well, why don't you have a, pomegranate cocktail with a little slice of raw Gouda cheese? And that gives you that K2, and then we get that arterial.
Nicely balanced.
Yeah, and it kind of gives them something fun to look forward to, and I'm sneaking in that nutrition, vitamins D, again, vitamins E, vitamin A, very important. A lot of people misinterpret that vitamin A is the same thing as beta-carotene, and we've talked about this before, Nico.
Yes.
The real fat-soluble vitamin A is most available in butters, properly.
It always comes down to that for me, too.
And
is
liver
all
is
these
an
fats.
excellent source.
Yeah, because I always, if I'm not feeling quite right or I'm getting hungry or something like that, I seek out a little bit of fat and not the sugar thing, which lasts so little in me. It's just if I eat, my wife.
Well, that's the nature of true nutrient dense, and it includes the fat soluble nutrition. And yes, our vitamin. Look at this beautiful picture we've got up on the prompter. Of these beautiful produce. Love them. And I actually say the produce houses the powerhouses of phytochemicals, which is where a lot of my research is now. The power of pigment, the power of phytochemicals, of which we don't even know half of their names. The phytochemicals.
Yeah, Ellen and I had a big salad the other day with some, we had some leftover ribeye. It really went well together. And I tried to pick out the most densest lettuces, the ones that are kind of bitter. And she doesn't quite like the bitter as much. She likes more of the palatable. And she was saying, Jesus, is so bitter. I said, yeah, but the bitter is what really has those real good phytochemicals in there. And you can taste those things. And the bitter is what I want. I always kind of go towards that.
And that's why taking a little teaspoon of some raw sauerkraut that gives you the sour.
Or pickle juice.
Yeah, or pickle juice. The idea that, like in Ayurvedic science, the idea of having each of the tastes, the sweet, the sour, the hot, the spicy, the bitter, this really helps to round out nutrition and balance the elements in our body.
So what I was going to say before is that during our trip we had this little, some kind of candy thing that was like chocolate wrapped and was supposed to be healthy, but it had toffee in it. And when I hit the toffee, man, I'm not used to the sweet stuff, and I like sweet stuff, but that was just like a big whammo. My eyes went, I said, boy, this stuff is strong. And I had to quickly, eat something with a little fat. To kind of balance it.
Kind of slow down that sugar rush.
Yeah, but you can really feel it. Okay, sorry to this.
But that's okay. But, a lot of people, if you're not getting some good, clean animal sources of nutrition, we can tend to see deficiencies in certain nutrients. And, B12, calcium, iron, zinc, the EPA and the DHA, the vitamins A and D.
Yeah.
So we've done our best to integrate healthy baseline into the Primal Edge, but I want to encourage you to seek out healthy food sources.
Yeah. So according to what Dr. Price found in the nutritional units that you were talking about, because he didn't know exactly what he was looking at, he just knew it was a good thing. While the average American in the 30s would have consumed 1 unit of minerals, Price's healthy tribes were consuming 4 units. So just think about that. Americans today have 1 unit compared to 10 units of the tribe. So that's how much it's deteriorated just since the 1930s. And folks, we're just talking about in the 1930s, we were eating mostly vegetables. We weren't eating a lot of grains.
And most of the destruction to our soil has happened since then, where
Yeah,
we've been taking the soil, moved into monoculture agriculture. So just to take that another step,
Yes.
in terms of the fat-soluble nutrition, most notably the critical activator X, Americans ate 1 unit compared to the 10 units of fat-soluble vitamins of the indigenous.
Exactly.
We're really trying to impress
And it
upon
may be
you.
even higher now.
Absolutely.
I think,
So,
yeah.
so what we notice is these people lived a life free of chronic disease. They typically had beautiful dentition. They produced tremendously beautiful children with a wide-glide smile, beautiful bone structure, healthy children.
Yeah.
There was no need for orthodontia. Have you ever noticed some of these traditional tribes?
Wider faces.
Yeah, actually, if you look at Dr. Weston A. Price's book, this 1,000-page Nutrition and Physical Degeneration, it's beautiful children that and that's how he started his research, which incorporated many 40 years of spending time. He and his wife, spent most of their vacation time studying these tribes. He noticed that these children, he was a dentist, and that's what prompted him. What's going on with the health of the American people? Yeah. People are having these very narrow bites and palates.
Well, being a dentist, he saw that firsthand.
Well,
That's
exactly,
what
and the caries.
What he looked for, yeah.
And the dental caries that he saw, developing in the teeth as the introduction of refined sugars, grains, and so forth happened. So the combination of good fat-soluble nutrition, I run around with my little grandbaby and I just take the little DHA capsules, and I bite them and I just squirt them in his mouth.
Nice.
And he's just used to it.
Of course.
Yeah, he's used to it.
So what are the culprits? According to Weston A. Price, the mechanical farming that we're doing now, that was around 1925, a big jump from just plowing by hand or with a horse to all of a sudden having the tractors that made a huge difference in how we farm.
Yeah, so that mechanized farming, and then coupled with the petrochemical-based fertilizers and herbicides and biocides and the toxic chemical soup that our food is actually swimming in. Yeah.
And, of course, the GMO.
And the glyphosate.
Yep.
Which is...
So there's a lot of things that are really impacting our food from the growth standpoint. We're not able to grow healthy food anymore because of the mechanism, because of the different things we're introducing into the food. We're introducing also fertilizers that are not natural, all these things that you said. It's a wonder we have any nutrition at all. And we really don't have much, that's for sure.
Right. And, I'm all for food-based healing. I believe that food is key.
Yeah.
But we've got to really be diligent about making the selection. Organic is more important than ever now that we're seeing the, vast use of toxic chemicals like the Roundup. You should make sure that your yard people are not spraying this in your yard.
Yeah.
You and your children walking around the yard, you're tracking this in, you're getting it on your hands. It's a terrible.
So this seems like a lot of gloom here, it's really bad, but, there are things that you can do and rather simply things. I think eliminating some of these worst foods is what we always talk about, don't we?
Here's some statistics while we're on it, just to kind of really get you a picture. There was some research done a few years back, but this was based on data showing that over the last 100 years, folks, the average mineral level in agricultural soils has fallen worldwide. For example, the mineral content in Europe has dropped 72%. The mineral content in Asia has dropped 76%. And in the United States, 85%. North America, again, as an example of us being the food creator, we've ruined the soil. Health begins in the soil.
Yeah, and most of the blame is on the artificial nutrition that they keep putting in here, those chemical fertilizers.
Yeah, so, I always use that example with my coaching clients.
Yeah.
If you open up a bank account with $100 and you take out $110, you're not going to be able to come back next week and get any more money.
But our whole economy is based on that.
Right. And, so we talk about what we do is we produce food, and there's 90 essential nutrients, which is what we put in the Primal Edge by using these ancient soil beds, but we're only putting back the NPK.
So we're running our food system just like our banking system.
Exactly.
How about that?
Gosh.
There's the connection right there.
Exactly. So what do you do, guys? You make good food choices. You vote every day with your fork. And I want you to look at, I want you to think about the fat-soluble nutrition. We've got it covered, and actually we did put in the Primal Edge enough of the vitamin K2 because it's so critical for, I believe, cardiovascular health. K2 tells calcium and other bone-building minerals, or any of the minerals you're being exposed to, the toxic fluorides, chlorides, and so forth, the halogens that are creating inflammation in your body. They're saying, hey, I'm going to chelate you, I'm going to bind you, I'm going to take you out of the body. And the calcium and so forth that we need to build the strong structural bones, get back in the skeletal system, get out of these arteries. We need to keep them clear.
We know those gluten products and the all these sugar products actually leach these minerals and vitamins out of your bones and your connective tissue.
Yeah, let's take a little more information about how we can protect ourselves. What else can we do? You know what? I love
that's
probiotics.
really the answer. You know, what else can we take besides the Primal Edge? Because the Primal Edge is a one-step wonder, but there is more that we can do.
Yeah, so I'm going to be saying that periodically getting additional sources of the fat-soluble nutrition. You know, the vitamins E, D, E, and K. Okay, so we have a tiny bit of E, but I have a form of vitamin E that of the, again, all of you that listen, you can call me first time, no charge, and I'll talk to you about some things, help get you on track. But, there's a form of vitamin E that's the workhorse. There's 4 segments of true vitamin E. I mean, there's 8. 4 tocotrienols, 4 tocopherols. There's 1 of the 8 that does all the work and produces all the research. So I help people get that amount. I couldn't put it in here. It's expensive. Yeah. But
so you would say add some E?
Add some E. I would add some DHA. I would be eating butter, liver, some health foods of vitamin A. Yeah. Yeah, same.
And
your vitamin E.
You think we need extra prebiotics?
Probiotics are absolutely crucial for many of us today.
Because I take one every morning.
And we have a little bit of a probiotic in there, but I do like probiotics. But you can also eat them in some foods. You can eat some fermented food. Sure. You can change it up. You can have water-based kefir. You can have grass-fed dairy kefir. You can have maybe some Greek yogurt if you do okay on dairy.
You can even have some sour drinks.
You can get some goat milk kefir. You can get some sour drinks, some kombuchas. You can get some sauerkraut, that little bit of sour in your meal.
And all that stuff helps with the prebiotic stuff. I use all of those things.
But I want to read this because we got only a minute. This is really cool about probiotics. Why are probiotics so powerful? This has been some real cutting-edge research that was just in the press in this last few weeks, is that the probiotics are actually helping to repair the damage from heavy metals and some of these toxic chemicals like glyphosate. They're very good at eating up these metals, and probiotics poop. And that poop, kind of helps us, stay balanced. They're hungry, and they eat some of these toxins for us.
So what happens is these germs are eating, and when they defecate, that's the probiotic, and that's what's good for us. Pretty cool.
Exactly. And we want to make sure you're eating the healthy fats.
Have you ever read about that fecal transplant?
Absolutely, especially for people that have had C. diff or MRSA or something like that.
It really works. And 90% success rate with that. Just taking a little poop from somebody that's really healthy.
Family member or someone healthy to become a fecal donor to implant. Again, mainstream medicine is poo-pooing this, no pun intended.
Good one.
Again, is there a lot of money in, they're trying to find a way to make money on the procedure, but,
People are stepping up for being a donor. We got to test you first.
Well, anyways.
Okay.
So we want to encourage you to understand that, there are a few supplements that we want you to take. What are they? A multi-nutrient, multi-mineral, multi-amino acid, the fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, and K2. Remember with vitamin D, folks, you want to make sure you can digest it. I have a little formula, a little recipe where I use vitamin D with some limonene oil so you can emulsify it, because if you're over 40, you don't emulsify some fats. Yeah. So we got lots of tips for you.
Age is a terrible thing, but it's fun. We'll be right back, folks. Stick around.
You know what's cool? taking something that's good for you, something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Steve Rhodes as he teaches techniques on technical analysis using pattern recognition, celestial charting, Fibonacci, and other tools. The Trader's Edge, next on TFNN.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nico and Paige here. You know, most of us lead a life that revolves around work. The average U.S. worker, for example, clocks about 47 hours a week. When you add the time that it takes to commute, to do all this stuff, have lunch and all that stuff, you're really talking about lots and lots of hours, 55, 60 hours we're spending really in slave labor almost. And there's an article here in the Telestrator. Here's a picture of the guy that he's riding his bike.
35-year-old American who thinks modern life is too stressful. He works 6 months a year, and then he lives on $10 a day and adventuring around on the world on a bicycle. And, you know...
Pretty good life.
I'm telling you, stuff like this, I'm starting to rethink a lot of things. You know, slavery works a lot better when you don't tell people. And exactly what you said, many of us have, I've seen that Facebook post, probably many of you all have seen, where they talk about we wake up to go to work to make money,
So
and we
can
never
get
come
out.
to the house
Yeah.
to be in the traffic for the house that we have to pay a mortgage on, that we never get to spend time in, that
It's a wild circle of modern living, no doubt about it.
And we know, since we're very much into health and nutrition, we know that 80 to 90% of all doctor visits are stress related. So if we know that stress is a major player in our health and wellness and our ability to lead a long, healthy life, none of us want to live a long time. We want to live long, strong. We want to live long, healthier. We want to expand our health span to live longer the way many of the Americans are doing today. And I want to stop back and think, we had Tom who called in earlier. Tom's in the health insurance business. He works with a lot of Medicare people, and he said, boy, I'm telling you, when you see some of these older people and, they're having the health challenges and the, bags and bottles of pills and the low quality of life, he says, I want to stay strong. I want to make sure I'm getting the nutriture so that my body can do its self-repair. But again, how do we reconnect? How do we get where we can look at people like this fella here, 35 years old, and he's decided this isn't about being lazy or not working hard. This is about creating a quality of life.
Well,
and reconnecting.
you have to start with something that you have a passion for. And all the things that are negative about it really kind of go away if you're doing something you passion. My wife, of course, is now a little over a year in her new firm. She went to this big corporate America firm to a little boutique firm where there's only 6 or 7 lawyers. And it just opened up a whole new world for her. No longer was she in corporate structure where the tension is there, big stress. Now she's kind of ruling her own world. Hours are her own. And it makes a difference with me, too. I dropped out of corporate America, about 15, 18 years ago and started doing my own thing and having a personal training business, learning jiu-jitsu, incorporating that, doing this show, meeting you, and now talking and having these talks on a monthly basis. It's a lot of work. I love it. I mean, I'm writing a newsletter. I'm still working on my book. I don't know if I'll ever finish it, but it's
a work in progress.
It's a work in progress, yeah. And it's something that I really enjoy doing, and still have time to exercise because my studio's right there. It makes it easy for me. But yeah, it's nice, and I don't have month-long vacations like they do in Europe. But I feel pretty good now, and maybe someday I will.
Well, we take a look at this guy. His name is Ultra Romance, so I guess people are following him.
Ultra Romance, good name.
Maybe we don't have the ability to take 6 months off, but what he says he does is he curtails his lifestyle so that he can enjoy this reconnection with nature, and he's doing this. I understand the same thing. When I went to college, I was recruited straight out of college by the 3-letter computer companies,
So
corporate.
in closing, I just want to say this, that if you go towards your passion, everything else kind of drifts aside and you don't feel like you're working anymore. So you've really got to discover your passion young and start doing it, and it's huge benefits.
So
and
stress less, feel better, and be more.
There you go.
Be more
We'll see you next week, folks. Thanks a lot for sticking around, and you guys have a great weekend. I hope the sun comes out.
Enjoy. Be safe.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.